Hey everyone, this is Trader AG and welcome to a YouTube public update. Today I'm going to be running you through the price action on Bitcoin, what we are seeing on the chart, and what can we expect for next week on crypto. In this video, I'm going to go through the trade setups that I'm interested in, what would get me in those trades, and what would be my targets and stops when I take those trade setups. Now, before I do that, I have to run you through the price action because if you don't understand what happened this week, you'll have a hard time understanding what could happen in the following week as well. So let's get started and talk about what we have seen on the charts. Now, important thing here to notice about the market and about Bitcoin is that we are at all-time highs and we have seen a increase in the amount of retail traders who have left the market due to stress, due to not wanting to round trip their profits, or could be the case where they have made enough money to secure themselves and want to invest in other altcoins on the chart as well. How do I know this? I know this through order flow. If we look at what happened during the last 3 days on the chart with open interest, you can clearly see that we have seen a big decrease in open interest after we hit those all-time highs at $122,000. Here we can see that people were still in the market when we were putting those all-time highs, but after we had this initial drop, I think people decided to say that, okay, if we start going and pushing lower on the chart, what will happen is I will round trip my profits, and it's too risky right now to actually hold on to those positions, and that's why we have seen so many long positions leave the market, as you can see right now as well. How do I know these are longs? Well, because of the open interest, because of the CVD right here as well. So all of those confluencing factors made me believe that people have left the market, and this is one of those indicators where if you're able to use CVD and open interest well, you're able to read the market extremely well as well. So now, if we know for a fact that most of the retail players have left their longs that they have taken from maybe 100K, maybe 90K, maybe 80K, what kind of position does that put us in? Well, the first thing I look at when I know for a fact that people have been using market sell orders to leave the market is how does that affect the price? Because without looking at the chart, you will have a hard time understanding how those market orders actually affect the bigger picture for Bitcoin. And in our case, we can see that the selling pressure, as we talked about, and when I say selling pressure, I'm talking about people leaving the market. I'm not talking about people shorting the market. I'm talking about longs leaving. So when those longs started leaving, you can see that this was the main area that the open interest started to decrease. And from this point onwards, even though we have seen longs closing and market being more penetrated by short orders, basically. I mean, you can say market sell orders, but however you want to call it, we can see that the price has not gone down. So when we started that move, you can see that we were at 116.5, and now after the decrease in open interest, we are currently sitting at 119.144. So what that says to me is there is a clear buyer and there's a clear player on the chart who is putting in limit buy orders at these levels, because if there was no buyer at this chart, the price would have continued going down, which again proves us the point that there is a bigger player on the chart who is definitely looking for higher prices on the chart and is still buying with limit longs. If we know this information, we can actually suggest that the higher prices and new all-time highs on the chart is still the most likely outcome on Bitcoin. Now, I ran through what happened on the chart. We can talk about how can we position ourselves when we know this information for a fact. Well, for me, what I always do with the chart is I always look at where is the best place to get into positions. And right now, do I think that 119.154 is the best place to take a long? For me, no, it is not, because there is not enough confluence at this level, there is no CVD divergence at this level, and also there is not people shorting the market at this level. As you know, at this point, when I enter the market, I love to see people shorting the market at these levels, because if I see that selling pressure from retail and there is the opposite force from a big player on the chart, that divergence usually causes a great reaction on the chart. So for now, we are not seeing that on the chart. So what I'm looking for next week, this could be on Sunday or Saturday as well, is when are we going to get those short positions in the markets? It could be the case that we get them around here, it could be the case that we get them around here, or it could be the case that we get them around $114,000. So I can't tell you an exact level to get in, but I can give you certain levels that I'm interested in. So the level number one, and this is the level that I'm least interested in, it is the range point of control right here. When we are back inside the range on a chart, what we usually love to do is, if we are seeing an acceptance into the value area high, that usually magnets us through the point of control of the range. So here we can see that we have these lows right here that are untapped and that are looking like they want to beat liquidity on the markets, and currently we are trying to push higher on the chart before testing the point of control. So that is the number one level that everyone should have there on their chart, because this is a support level on the chart. Is that my favorite level? No, it is not. Why? Because there isn't many confluence factors that actually line up with that level. So what I mean by confluence is that I like to have more than one level that is sitting at a certain price, so that when we are longing that zone, we have multiple confluence factors like CVD, open interest, market structure, and those two factors that I'm using as well. What level do we have for that? Well, I'm gonna make you think of this one right here. This is the value area low of this chart, sitting at 119.969, basically $117,000. If this was by itself, this wouldn't actually interest me too much, but we do have a great confluence at that level, which is the point of control of, I believe, what day was it? I think the 16th, but I could be wrong. Let's quickly check it out. So here we can see that we have the point of control of the 15th of July on a Tuesday coming in at $117,000. So that level right there is not just the value area low, it also is the daily NPOC level right here. So now we have a contextual confluence at that level. We have the value area low, we have the daily NPOC level, and what we will look for when that level comes in is, are we going to see shorts coming in on the market? That is always my number one priority on the chart. So if the price is able to push down lower on the chart, and let's say we have this reaction from this point of control and we start ranging around here, and after this you're seeing this drop on the chart, when we hit this daily NPOC level, the number one thing that you should be looking out for is, are we seeing bullish absorption on the markets? And if you don't know what that means, please go in our team, go in the tag team, the link is in the description, and learn about these things, because this is the best method to use when you are trading the markets. And all of these are here, right? You can see open interest is here, CVD, strong and weak CVD divergences, and everything that you need to learn from what I'm talking about right now is inside the tag team. The link is in the description. So what I'm looking for when the chart comes to these levels right here is, are we seeing bullish CVD divergences? So CVD is making a lower low on the chart, but the price is making a higher low on the chart. Also, am I seeing open interest increase? Am I seeing high negative delta on the chart? If I see all of these signs together, what this allows me to do is, it allows me to have a great long position with a beautiful risk reward ratio here as well, because as you can see here, if I take a long position from this daily NPOC level, my stop loss is 1% below the price. However, my target could easily be new all-time highs or even $125,000 right here. So this gives me a 6.41 risk to reward ratio trade right here. I love this one. If it comes in, as I say, I am a buyer with this one with a take profit probably around the point of control or around the value area high, depending on the context. So that is a trade I'm looking for on the chart. If you want to have these trades at the exact times that I'm taking them, it will be on the Discord as well inside the tag team. I don't know when these prices will come. If they come tomorrow, on Monday, on Tuesday, I will be looking at these on Discord. Now, another reason why I'm really interested in this level is because I think we have another contextual confluence here as well. And the one I'm going to talk about here is the higher time frame play right here. So what we are seeing on the chart is, we had these lows right here from Saturday and Friday, and after having these lows, we pushed up to $123,000 and we came down, swept those lows, and now we are putting in this ascending channel right here. So for me, this is an important thing on the chart, because usually what ends up happening with these ascending channels that are going into the weekend is we love to turn them into ranges. That is something that always happens on the chart, and I can't give you the reason why, but it's just my journaling that I've realized, where if you are putting in these ascending channel formations on a Friday, what usually ends up happening is we usually end up having a range like this where it just fucks up the ascending channel. So if this channel has a high likelihood of being fucked up, what can we look out for here? Well, I think we can look out for some continuation patterns right here. And for me, the number one thing that I would look out for here would be a triangle formation, because that is one that we have not put in for a month now. And if we put in one right here, that would be a pretty bullish continuation pattern on the chart as well. So we would have the A right here, we would have the B right here, we would have a C at the daily MPOC level, a D level maybe around 119.5, and then E to actually form the triangle right here. Will this triangle break to the upside? I don't know. What are the statistics? Well, the classical way of trading triangles is, because it's a bullish flag, it has a 70% chance of breaking to the upside. So you have a great likelihood that your trade that you might take from here has a great chance of playing out. So that's why I'm quite interested with this level as well. So this triangle formation is definitely something to look out for. And what happens if we come down and we hit this level and there is no divergence on the chart? You are seeing bearish divergences on the chart and there is no absorption signals. Where, well, if that is the case, I'm going to look for a move down to take out these lows next on the chart. And if we are taking out those lows on the chart, we could put in a formation that is kind of similar to what we have seen around at our last range on the chart as well. So here we can see that we had a high right here, right? We had a low right here, which was a low that took out the last lows on the chart. I'm gonna put this on the 3-hour chart so we can see it slightly better. So here we can see that we have a low on the chart, we have a high on the chart, price comes down, takes out these lows, comes up, puts in a really weak high, right? You can see here as well that these highs right here, they don't look strong at all. They look like they want to be the liquidity in the market and they're not finished. They're unfinished business on the chart. But even though with that in mind, price is able to put in a new low on the chart before eventually taking them out. So I'm gonna now talk about what's happening on the chart right now, which is we had a low on the chart, we had a high on the chart, we came down, we took out those lows, and now we put in these highs right here, which again look pretty, they don't look finished, do they? You can see here as well that the highs are really close to each other. Plus, not just the look of them, we also don't have a selling tail at these highs as well. Selling tail means that there has been a limit seller at these levels, which again, you can see at the highs that we put in right here, a selling tail, a selling tail, a selling tail, and that usually means that the high for the day or the high is a strong high on the chart. But for this one right here, you can see that there is no selling tail on the chart. And this was the exact case for the high that I showed you at $111,000 back in June as well. So that's why I'm 100% looking for these highs to be taken out at some point this month. So if we have that magnet towards the price, and also we have a magnet below the price around that point of control of this range where I think it comes down to like 118.2, what we can do is we can stay patient on the chart. Do I know if the price will come down and take out these lows, or is it going to put in a triangle formation? No, I don't. But do I care about which one happened next? I don't care too much either, because I don't think that adds any type of interest or doesn't add anything to my trading style. Because if the price comes down here, and let's say I'm playing out that A, B, C, D, E triangle formation right here, what I will do is I will look for those signs that I just talked about, and I will long the market. And let's say I long the market like I talked to you about right now, and I have my stop loss below these lows, and I aim for new all-time highs next on the chart. If I'm taking profit at that range point of control, what that allows me to do is I'm now secure. I made money, and if the price goes up, I'll make more money. If the price comes down, I'll get stopped at entry, which means that I've already made money from the market. And if that is the case and price comes down and takes out these lows, I'm going to look for a new long setup there as well. So you don't have to guess what's going to happen on the chart to make money from this market. If the price comes down after having that move right here, what I can do is I can look for another formation right here where we can take new long positions like this with a stop loss below these lows and aiming for new all-time highs next, or I mean potentially for $130,000 on the chart right here as well. So you don't have to guess, you just have to play the statistics on the market. Right now, what statistics suggest to me is that the highs right here are not finished. These highs right here are weak, but also we still have a magnet below the price, which is the point of control of this range. So you can see here how everything I say to you is never my own bias. It completely comes from what the chart is giving me. If you want these kind of updates every single day, you have to join the tag team. I've been keep telling that to people back in March, back in February, and now I'm really glad to say that we truly have members in our team who are making money without my guidance. Here you can see that this was a long trade that Ivan take on Doge without me saying anything to him. He found his own divergences, he found his own level, and with his own confidence, he made money from it. Same goes for Manu this week as well, or Crypto this week as well, from the XRP trade right here. You can see that Manu made money from hype here as well, and if I go back, you'll see more and more of these just from the last 2 days here as well. So everything that you see here, I have not told these people to join these markets, right? I don't have a Sol trade, but Manu has, or I don't have these trades on ETH, he has it, or we can see with Ivan here with the Doge longs as well. So if you truly want to learn, if you truly want to be a part of the community where it will truly be the best trading community in the world, you gotta join the tag team. It is the place to be. We had a great long position on hype yesterday. It took profit, and then I got stopped at entry, and then happens again with these trades right here as well. Like if price comes down, hits the daily MPOC level, and just forms this triangle formation to stop me out, it's okay. I made money on this chart. So that's it for me on this video, and thank you so much for listening to me on this one. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment as well. I love seeing your support, and if you want more of these, if you want to educate yourself, if you want to be ready when the range occurs, please join the tag team. It's the best place to be. And yeah, I will see you either on my next video, on Twitter, or inside the tag team. Bye bye.